Living limitless is living without limits. You see it, you go after it, no doubts, you believe. That was the opposite of my life up until the time I was 30. I lived a life of routine like 86% of the people. I either didn't know what I wanted, I didn't know how to go after it, or I didn't know who to turn to. It's a very isolated place. Harvard Medical School conducted a study. They found that people that are most likely to achieve their goals have that support system, have those friends. I didn't know that the universe was that for me. I mean, what are the signs of the universe? You know, you think of somebody they call, you're going after a goal and everything is going your way and like, man, this is really working. You're going after something, there's these obstacles, and you say to yourself, well, wait a minute, something's not right. I'm going to challenge that way of thinking. When you think of someone, I want you to call them. When you're going after a goal and things are going your way, I want you to think bigger. When you're faced with some type of challenge, I want you to stop and say, what doors are opening? Because if you want to live limitless, that means you've got to jump in with the universe. I mean, what do we hear people say? What do we hear them say over and over again? Be open to the universe. Be open to the universe. You've got to be open to it. Step one in this process is, who are you? When are we most open to the universe? When we're kids, right? We are creative, we are fearless, we believe everything is possible. We become doctors, lawyers, athletes, we live boundless. When I was a kid, I used to write scripts. I used to get the neighborhood kids involved. I'd star in them, I'd direct them, and then I'd tell people what to do. And then that moved on to speech competitions. And then, you know what I really wanted? I wanted to be an announcer in the school play. And I didn't get that chance. And they were casting. And I went home one night and I went to bed and I'm crying my eyes out because I couldn't figure out how to make that happen. I wanted that so much. The next day, I'm at my desk. Miss Isabella, the production director, comes up. She puts a piece of paper on my desk. And she says, you're going to be an announcer in the school play. Now, I don't know if that was my mom or the universe, but I know something was working. Because really, what is it? It's the universe working with us. Here I was in a spot that I didn't know what could potentially happen, but it was moving with me. See, that's what happens. We move and we move with the universe, and all of a sudden, we're hit with something called fear. And it presents itself to us as love. It's our friends, it's our family, it's our parents, it's those we look up to. And they say, wait a minute, are you sure you want to do this? Or they've experienced some failure in their life and they're afraid for you. And then all of a sudden you start putting up walls for yourself and you're like, oh my God, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. I went to college, I was going to be a newscaster. My father said to me, don't you think that's a tough field to get into? Are you sure you want to do it? Well, I started my first semester and guess what? It was tough. It was so tough that I changed majors. I changed majors 4 times and then I dropped out of college. I became a secretary. My father wasn't happy and neither was the universe. Because here I was moving in this specific direction. Step 2 in this process is stay aware. All of a sudden I'm in the corporate world. Here I am working at different companies. I found myself in a medical research company. They said to me, Gail, if you want to be promoted, because I was working really hard, you got to get your degree. I really didn't feel like getting my degree, but okay, I want to be promoted. I'm going to go for my degree. I also started to take some leadership courses. And that was pretty amazing because I was a very traditional manager. I was not a good manager. I was focused more on the tasks than the people. And leadership is all about the people. And I fell in love with helping my people achieve. So that was part 1 of the process. The other part of this was that there was someone within my organization that was getting out there and they were doing speeches for the medical research company. And I said, wait a minute, I am a speaker. I went to my boss and I said, you know what? I want to get out there. I want to do speeches. He said, okay, go ahead. Now we had 2 parts to the puzzle, the leadership piece. I'm building people. I'm refining my skills as a speaker. And I was still working toward continuous improvement. I went to a seminar where I had never seen a motivational speaker before. There was this motivational speaker on the stage, and I thought to myself, oh my God, I want to be him. I had now pulled those two pieces together. Somebody said to me, hey, Gail, why don't you see if the leadership training organization is hiring? I said, oh, that's a good idea. They were hiring. They did hire me. I gave my 2 weeks notice at the medical research company. So here I am at the medical research company, finishing up my 2 weeks. We're about to do a presentation, me and my team. And I say to them, and I remember the date, December 17th. I said, wouldn't it be cool if exactly a year from now, I was doing a speech for a group of CEOs? And I know it was this crazy, lofty dream, but that's thinking that. So I left the medical research company. I'm working for the training organization. Within 2 months, I got a keynote speech for UPS senior management team. A few months after that, I'm sitting at my desk, hanging out. I get a phone call. This guy named Chris says to me, hey, Gail, can you come in and do a speech for a group of CEOs? I went, well, when is it? He said, December 17th. And you know what I said. I said, well, you know, that's kind of like a week away. I'm not really going to be able to prepare, so I don't really know if I can really make that happen. So you know what? I'm going to have to call you back. And I hung that phone up and I said, oh my God, it's the universe. I don't have a choice. I have to do this. So I called him back. I went in and I did the speech, and I was blessed that all of a sudden, they also asked me to be the MC for their monthly meetings. My path was moving forward. Now, my boss back on the ranch was like, Gail, you know what? We love the fact that you're speaking, but you've got to do some cold calling so that you can then get into organizations to sign the contracts to do the speeches. Again, not real thrilled about it. This is where step 3 comes in. Nothing interferes with the universe. I'm doing my cold calling. I came across a company called America's TV Job Network. I went in to talk to them about speaking, and they said, you know, Gail, we're not looking for any speakers to come in. We're looking for hosts for our television show. Oh my God, that was like 13 years ago. That was my dream. It was my dream, and now I have no experience whatsoever, but I still said, what about me, which they said no to. And they said no for the next 3 months. And then at the end of the 3 months, they still said no. They were holding auditions the next week. But I went to those auditions. And for the next 2 years, I was the co-host of America's TV Job Network. That's when I knew the power of living limitless. That when you jump in with the universe, that you can make things happen. Now, my boss was not real happy that I got a TV show, so I got fired. And I'm on my own in my own company now, starting from scratch. I'm on unemployment. I got no money in the bank, but I did have one client, like literally one. I was teaching someone how to do telephone internal sales, but that led to 2 people and 2 more external sales reps, and then a department of internal sales reps, and then another department of external sales reps, and then that entire location. And that entire location was ADT Security Services, the largest security company in the world. It had led me to go to multiple different locations to be out there. I had officially become the competitor of the training organization that had fired me. I continued to let doors open for me. I wanted to work at the NHL. I wanted to help the players, help motivate them. I decided to send a letter up to Toronto during the off season. And it takes exactly 1 week for a letter to get from Philadelphia to Toronto. Well, it's a week later, my telephone rings. It's area code 416, it's Toronto. Oh my God. I'm thinking, hey, this is Gail Kasper. Sorry, wrong number, and they hang up. Are you kidding me? I'm like, what, did they chicken out? Are they rethinking it? Like, what's going on here? Okay, I'm gonna play cool, So I waited it out. About a month later, I missed another call. Same phone number, area code 416, same number. I'm like, okay, universe, you want me to call it back? So I did. I called the number. I said, hi, do you know a Gail Kasper? The guy's like, no, I don't know a Gail Kasper. My name's Mike. It actually was a wrong number. But we stayed in touch. He came to visit me 2 months later. 4 months after that, we were married. We were married for 7 years, but that's not the best part. The universe brought two good people together, two good souls with good intentions, and we stayed friends for 20 years. We're friends till this day. And some people don't want us to be friends, but some things in life can't be broken. The power of the universe and society is unlimited. When I opened my eyes to the universe, I was presented with irreplaceable people, opportunities, and successes. I worked with Fortune 500, top 100 companies as a speaker. I was a sought-after media personality, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox. I've had my own television show. I have 2 books out there, over 10 audiobooks. And when the universe steps into your world and you actively step into, you will be faced with those same irreplaceable people, opportunities, and successes. My life was meant to be. When I was a kid, I used to write scripts. I'd star in them, I'd direct them, and I'd tell people what to do. Today, I write scripts. I star in them, I direct them, and I tell people what to do. Your life is limitless. Thank you.